Good morning, boys and girls. I hope that you're enjoying your spring break. It's Thursday, so we've got a couple days left before school starts on Monday. I haven't been doing anything too fun. Got some furniture out and put it on my porch, and Luke and Molly have been making me watch some really weird anime cartoons. But I'd love to hear what you've been doing. If you want to email me something fun that you've done, I know that some of you are filling out our mental health check-in, and I get to see some fun things that you've been doing, like having sleepovers with your sisters and your moms, and that makes me happy that you guys are doing well. So I'm here to start our new book. I know it's been a little bit. I've been kind of busy getting stuff ready for next week for you guys, but I really want to start our new chapter book. So today we're going to start April Fool's Fiasco. So the summary on the back says it's the 1st of April. Mr. Paskey, owner of the Book Nook, plays an April Fool's Day prank on Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose. They hatch a plan to get back at him, but then the bookstore is robbed. No joke. Can the kids track down the crook, or will this April Fool's be an April fail? So we get to see Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose again. So let's start out with chapter 1. Why does it have to rain? Josh asked as he and his friends left the playing fields. How can I practice my soccer skills in the mud? It's not raining yet, Dink said, looking up at the dark clouds. Besides, real soccer players aren't afraid of getting wet. Josh passed his soccer ball to Dink, who kicked it to Ruth Rose. The three had been playing soccer after school on a Friday afternoon. Dink's full name was, there's the three of them, Donald David Duncan. He, Josh Pinto, and Ruth Rose Hathaway were fourth graders and best friends. We need the rain in April, Ruth Rose told Josh. That's what makes the flowers bloom in May. Ruth Rose liked to wear outfits all the same color. Today's choice was bright yellow, like the daffodils that grew outside their school building. She passed the ball back to Josh. Let's stop at the Book Nook, she said. I heard Wallace Wallace has a new book out. Maybe Mr. Paskey has it. Wallace Wallace was a famous children's book author. She and Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose had been best friends ever since the kids had tried to save her from a kidnapper. The kidnapping turned out to be fake, but they've stayed friends anyway. Josh slapped the pockets of his cargo pants. He heard a few coins jingle. I don't have enough money to buy a book, he said. Dink shoved his hand into his jeans pocket. I've got exactly 1 quarter, he said. I just got my allowance, Ruth Rose said. If Wallace Wallace's new book is there, I'll buy it, and you can both read it when I'm done. When they passed Howard's barber shop, they waved at Howard through the window. He smiled and waved back. Outside the Book Nook, a woman with a backpack slung over one shoulder was standing near the door. Dink noticed a small yellow smiley face pinned to one of the pack straps. She was reading a flyer taped inside the window. When she walked through the door, the kids stopped to read the flyer. Calling all numismatists. Come to the Numismatic Society meeting. West Hartford Library, Main Street, April 2nd, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Sell or trade your old coins and bills. Free refreshments. Under the words was a drawing of a jar of coins and a stack of green bills. What's a whatever, Josh asked. Ruth Rose pointed to the drawing. Something about money, I think, she said. Cool, said Josh. I love money and free food, too. We should go to the meeting. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose stepped inside the Book Nook. Mr. Paskey was helping a bald man with blue sneakers pick out a book. He smiled and waved at them. Door leading to the basement. He heard someone down there whistling and making clanking noises. Here it is, Ruth Rose cried, grabbing a book off a shelf. She turned it over and looked at a smiling photo of Wallace Wallace. Ruth Rose held the book so Dink and Josh could see the cover. It was called The Dark Forest. The cover showed a boy and a girl surrounded by tall, dark trees. Vines that looked like sea creatures' tentacles were wrapped around the tree trunks. Evil-looking birds sat in the branches, their red eyes glaring. "That's pretty scary," Josh said. "Those eyes give me goosebumps." "Great, I'll buy it," Ruth for scissors to see who reads it first. "No, you read it first," Dink said. "Then give it to Josh. I want to count his goosebumps." The bald man left the store, and Mr. Paskey met the kids at the counter. "Ah, I see you found Miss Wallace's new book." That's the book. Does it look creepy to you? "I read it and got goosebumps." "See," Josh said. "That's why I want to buy it," Ruth Rose said. "I love scary stories." Dink noticed 2 stacks of flyers on the counter. One stack had the flyer they'd seen in the window. The other flyers were red, white, and blue. They showed a drawing of a big brick house and a photo of a man with white hair and a big mustache. Dink read the words beneath the man's face. "Join us at the Mark Twain House, April 3rd from 6 to 10 p.m. Come celebrate Mark Twain's life. Food, music, balloons for the kids. 351 Farmington Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut." "Your dad is a Mark Twain fan, isn't he, Mr. Paskey?" asked Dink. Dink nodded. "I think so," he said. Mr. Paskey handed him a flyer. "Take this home for him," he said. "He may want to attend the party." Dink slipped the flyer into his pocket. While Ruth Rose paid Mr. Paskey for the book, Josh picked up a flyer like the one in the window. "What's this about?" he asked Mr. Paskey. "Oh, every year the Numismatic Society has a big meeting," Mr. Paskey said. "People who like to collect old coins and other forms of money get together." "Cool," said Josh, putting the flyer in his pocket. "What do they do?" "Well, they swap with each other or sell to the public," Mr. Paskey answered. Saw the reflection of a woman approaching the counter. She was wearing jeans and a gray shirt with Dale Plumbing stitched over the pocket, and she was holding a toolbox. Her hands had black smudges, and her face was sweaty. "I fixed the leak," she told Mr. Paskey. "Your basement floor got a little bit wet, so I mopped it for you. Mind if I wash up in your bathroom?" "Of course, Amanda," Mr. Paskey said. Amanda set her toolbox on the floor and walked toward the bathroom. Mr. Paskey pulled a small blue book from a drawer under the counter and handed it to Josh. The book looked as if it had been read a lot. "This is about coin collecting," he said. "Read. We might turn you into a numismatist." "What is what you said?" Josh asked. "Numismatists collect and study money," Mr. Paskey explained. "Cool," Josh said. "I definitely want to be one, but I can't even say it." "Break the word into 4 syllables," Mr. Paskey said. "Numismatist." Josh repeated, "Numismatist." Something caught Dink's eye, and he looked up into the mirror between 2 rows of bookshelves. Do you see a shadow? When he turned around to get a better look, the shadow was gone. Dink glanced out the window, thinking he might have seen a reflection of someone walk by the store, but the sidewalk in front of the book nook was empty. Amanda came out of the bathroom. Her face and hands were clean. "Thanks a lot, Mr. Paskey," she said. "I feel 100% better." Mr. Paskey took a key from a hook next to the cash register. He walked Amanda to the door, locked it behind her, and pulled a shade down over the glass. "I want to show you kids something," Mr. Paskey said, putting the key back on the hook. He winked at Josh. For Mr. Paskey wants to show the kids that he had to lock the shop up and pull down the shade like he was hiding something. I don't know. It was for numismatists only. Do you think it might have something to do with money? Do you think it might have something to do with the shadow? email if you want to share your predictions with me. And we will be back tomorrow with Chapter 2.